Hello everyone, Kat is from the Pitch Control here, and today I've got a video for you guys of an interview I did with Rich Owens. It's another guy that does a lot of vinyl videos on YouTube. He does a lot of record reviews and also Google Hangouts. He did a video with Mike Seatown, and that's how I actually found him through YouTube. I spoke to Mike Seatown and Rich about their interview on the Cattle Decapitation album from this year, the new one. Yeah, I got talking to both of them on Twitter and stuff, and I thought it'd be really nice if I could also get an interview with Rich. The main theme in this video was preferences of music. So if you listen to vinyl, or if you listen to tape or CD or mini disc, what was your favorite thing and how it changes through different styles of music. We're also talking about the new Deafheavens album, New Bermuda. We also talked about the Destroyer Remaster and what we thought about that. So I hope you enjoy this video. I've got loads more ideas coming up for you guys, and hopefully we can get back to you as soon as possible with a few final updates and a few little vlogs and stuff. But yeah, cheers for watching, hope you enjoy, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Give a little bit of an introduction to yourself, let people know what you do and how we know each other and what you do on YouTube, what sort of videos and stuff.
My name's Rich Owens. On YouTube, I do mostly sort of vinyl videos and like the occasional like discussion or whatever, and music suggestions. I do like my own blog called Rich Reviews, where I do music reviews and book reviews. For other websites like Echoes and Johnston, I just do like music reviews and interviews for them and all that kind of good stuff. Knowing you, it was through Mike Seatown's video, the one me and him did together. I was reading through like the comments on it, and I think your channel was like the only one I clicked on just to check out. For some reason, it just made me curious, and like I saw your video and stuff, and then like followed, and then just stalked you on Twitter. That's my version of the story, anyway.
That's nothing like it was, by the way. That's just don't believe Rich. Been stalking me for years.
Yeah, I only just came out publicly about it.
I got a couple of questions for you, because we've obviously spoken about what we want to talk about. One of my questions that I've been asking a lot of people is, what was the first thing that got you interested in music? What was the first thing that you heard and made you feel like this is the most amazing thing, and it just changed your life and you thought, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
I'm not ashamed to admit it, but like the first album I ever bought with like my own pocket money and stuff was like a Steps album.
Best answer ever.
When I first like started like really getting into music was probably when I just started secondary school in year 7, so that was about 12, 13. I remember just being on the school bus, hearing the radio on it, The Strokes. I think particularly Last Night, I just loved it because to me at the time that was quite angsty.
Nice punk attitude towards it, definitely.
Yeah, it's quite sloppy, that album.
When did you decide to take the step that you wanted to share your passion for music with other people? So just, I guess, get really geeky about it and share it with other people that obviously were definitely interested and want to go online and watch it.
As far as like the writing part of it goes, which I've been doing for like years now, like finishing university, and I had like a lot of time in my hands. I was really frustrated with like some of like the big publications that I really liked at the time and how they were changing, especially sort of Rock Sound magazine. I discovered so much new music through Rock Sound. Yeah, that was a great magazine, but then like it sort of changed, and like it was regurgitating the same bands. It was like focusing a lot on pop punk, so you didn't have like the punk, post rock, experimental stuff showing up much anymore. I just figured like I could moan about it, or I could just sort of like do my own thing. I mean, because like the internet's a very powerful thing, so you don't really have to rely on magazines that much anymore. We
both spoke about the new Destroyer Remaster. I haven't really spoken to you in depth about it, how much I love it. That was in my top 10 of all time. That's one of them. The reason is because it was the first grind, the first heavy thing. And in particular, it was the first record that I heard, and it was really bad quality, if that makes sense. But on purpose, it wasn't meaning to be good quality. So this is it. I wanted to get your opinion on why you think they remastered it, or if you even think that's a good idea, because in my opinion, it's interesting. But when I listened to the new one, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then I listened back to the original. I was like, even if I heard the new one, I'd still be like, this is amazing. But that old one is just like, it still gives me that feeling. It still gives me that like, oh my gosh, this is like the best of the best, you know, like nothing beats it. I just wanted to get your opinion on what you thought about it.
Prowler in the Yard is my favorite album of all time, easily. It's been my number one for years. Yeah, like with the original recording, it's really primal and very raw. Just, I don't know, it's ugly. I actually think the recording quality for the original version is actually pretty good. I do get what you mean though. There's times where like it does feel like the instruments are being pushed to their limits and they're just like that close to like cracking. The remaster, it is a classic in the grindcore genre for a reason. So I didn't know why they would want to mess with that. Maybe there were good intentions behind it, but I just think it's really unnecessary. And it seems like maybe just trying to make a selling point for a reissue.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way about it. And when I read more into it, I did understand it a little bit more. But the more I understood it, the more I disliked some of the parts. Like when I listened to it, they've left out stuff, but they haven't put stuff in.
Yeah.
And they've upped some of the vocals and panned some of the vocals, and they've taken the China blasts away. So they've lowered that shh sort of. And that was personally my favorite thing about the record was the use of the China blast. And I always used to laugh because it was just ridiculous and it just used to just hurt your ears. But it was very interesting to hear the vocals because like you can hear more of what he's doing and hear how much he's pushing it. You know, like his vocals on that album were just insane. Yeah. And that's a beautiful thing that you can hear new stuff from your favorite album. But at the same time, the drums are just comedic. On that album, they were the most perfect drums, and now they sound like, you know, a bit more triggered, a bit more like punchy and a bit more perfect, and it's a bit weird. That's something I dislike about it personally. But
I get what you mean. Like it's sort of like lost that human touch to it now a little bit.
Yeah,
because like I said before, it's a primal album. Is just musically and lyrically and like the theme of it all, like it's just sort of an experience of the darkness in the human mind. Like it is a crawl through all the negative thoughts through like a breakup, and because of like how honest and just brutal it is.
When I listened to Prowler in the Yard for the first time, it was very confusing, and then after I read the lyrics and I was like, are you kidding me? Like these are the lyrics. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever read in my life. Even though it's really disgusting, it's also the most insanely beautifully romantic thing. It's perfect.
That was exactly my feeling. Especially like my favorite song is Junkyard God, especially with like that intro with like the drums, especially when it goes like into like the trippers, like dun, 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 dun.
I think that definitely like works with the Pig Destroyers thing as well, because I feel like when I listen to things like 38 Counts, another Pig Destroyer record, that's also a record that I can't help but put on full volume, because you need to listen to it loud because you want to feel it as much energy as they're putting into it. So I feel personally that format wise, I feel it's a very like personal attachment to have vinyl or tapes. I really dislike CDs personally, just because I'm really bad with like breaking them, and they're always like getting scratched and shit. And I did collect a lot of CDs when I was first starting going to shows, but it's a bit too digital, and it's like I like to have the imperfections, and I like to have like the rawness and the dirtiness. I like the idea of having something that you can have there. And I did get into a little bit of a phase of downloading music like off of iTunes and buying stuff like that, and I really disliked it. It made me feel a bit uncomfortable, because I've always bought CDs or bought tapes and had like my portable CD player or my tape cassette player that I took to, like, we made mixtapes and gave to each other and stuff. And that's how I found a lot of bands as well. And when you have like, you know, different genres and different things, you can give a vinyl to someone and say, here, you can take this, and it's like you're giving someone something. But if you just send it in an email, it's a bit like, it means nothing. It just doesn't have any weight to it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It sounds like a weird thing to say, but if you were to get like a compilation CD, I think you'd choose physical over digital every time, because nobody wants to download a different array of like songs. And then personally, because like I'm really anal about this, but like I have to have like my iTunes like really sorted and stuff, and like compilations just mess with that so much. I'm like, I'd rather just have like a CD. And like I mentioned earlier, when I first got into music, I used to listen to like like the rock sound compilations constantly on the way back and forth to school with my Walkman, and I used to have the piss taken out of me because like I thought I was being really cool by still using my Walkman when everybody had like an iPod. But,
that's weird, right? Like I tried to explain that to someone at work the other day about like the quickness of our generation in technology is insane. The amount that we've seen like in our age is nuts, because it went from like we had CDs, tapes, mini discs, then we had all the portable players, then vinyls come back, and then we've had the whole digital revolution as well. And I tried to explain it to someone at work, like I used to walk around like, and I'd have to hold my portable CD player because it was obviously like skipping and stuff. I explained to someone about mini disc players and they just had no idea what they were. That was actually my favorite, mini disc players.
I never had one.
They were so good because I used to skateboard a lot, and obviously like the portable CD player is just crap. And I used to have like my cassette player, but it was really bulky. And the mini disc players, they're about this thin. They were like, don't know, about this big.
Okay.
They're kind of just like a floppy disk, and they could fit a few more songs on than a tape. You can just make compilations and swap them around and stuff, and they're really cheap to buy like a massive pack of these little floppy disk things that you put in. But yeah,
that's cool as fuck. Yeah,
I guess that's when the sort of the downloading like digital thing came in. But it is weird to think like there's not like that grabbableness in music, and I feel like that's so important to support the bands as well, but mainly just because people have the crazy geeky obsession with wanting to own the music and feel like they're a part of it as well. But obviously like vinyls, just like that's it. I'm like cursed and obsessed.
Yeah, I'm sure we spoke about it before. That's why vinyl sales are doing really well. I think we've sort of gone over the excitement of downloading things, especially for free. I think we're especially realizing that like downloading doesn't feel that good. I personally do it a lot. Actually, like buying something physical, I think we've realized how like much of a good feeling that is. I think that's why vinyl sales are doing way better now.
Yeah, I mean, like I watched a really good program on like the brain. It's kind of an off subject, but like how your body reacts when you want to eat or how you eat. How your chemicals are released through your body. And they were saying stuff like, that's why people become addicted, you know, like if you do something just once a month, then it's not really like I need to, it's just like, yeah, I'll do it. I want to do it, you know, but if you do something every day, it's like, I need to do this. And when you do achieve that goal, you're like, these chemicals release in your body and you feel a good feeling. And that's why, like, I guess a lot of people within music, especially if they make music themselves, when they get that album and when they put it on the player or when they get the cassette or the CD, they feel like they've definitely achieved something. They've yeah, you know, like they've saved up the money and they've gone to the shop and they've really earned that music rather than just pressing like download and cheekily downloading it with the curtains closed, you know, like
with like the hoodie up and they're like the desk. So downloading things.
Yeah, how are your feelings like? How does it change for you, like listening for different formats with like feeling wise? How does that make you feel like when the difference between like online or listen to it personally when you've got it?
Be honest, I collect vinyl obviously for like the videos and everything. I do enjoy listening to music on vinyl. Actually, I do have a favorite genre to listen to on vinyl, and that's sort of like drone ambient music. Like you said earlier, the sort of imperfections really help that in a way, especially with one of the bands I mentioned to you before, like Black Swan. Have you ever listened to Black Swan? I'm sure the guy like samples a lot, so he has like these drones and everything, and he often has sort of like old recordings of like music underneath there where there's like piano or dance hall, like singing like sort of Sinatra-ish. I remember like there's one, I think it's called Black Eulogy, and like you can just hear like underneath like this drone is like this voice is going like drink up all you people, and then just like it sounds like you're listening to an actual memory in time, the past through like a portal that's music. With the sort of imperfections with listening to vinyl, like that really enhances the music. But I do like CDs. I do like CDs a lot.
I haven't bought CDs in such a long time. Do you buy them from shows or are you just getting them online?
I think the last CDs I bought was the Vinyl Exchange in Manchester, and it's all sort of secondhand stuff in there. I think I got like Page 99's Document 8.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. Sure, I got like a few like Agoraphobic Nosebleed albums as well. I can't remember. But yeah, I still like CD. I don't know.
Obviously, CD is really important if you want to have like a digital album. It does make more sense. Like if you're really thinking about something that is going to be like insanely digital sounding, and you want to have like, and you have the setup and all that stuff, that does make sense for me as well. Like there's definitely some stuff that I got on CD that I haven't got on vinyl. It's weird. Yeah, maybe I just like haven't really thought about it. I got so involved with vinyl that I'm like, like straightforward, you know. Like I was going to ask you that actually. Like, are there any records that you've never heard other than on vinyl?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm gonna have to rack my brain about that. I don't think so. Generally, actually, yeah, I do own some vinyl that I don't have on CD and have like never heard on CD. But I have heard them digitally beforehand.
Okay.
Does that count? Or
yeah. I mean, like, I'm just asking because there's stuff that I've got, for example, like Daniel Johnston, for example, and that was it's a tape, so it's been recorded onto a dictaphone and then it's been put onto vinyl. And I felt a bit weird about listening to it on vinyl because I thought I want to own the tape because I want to hear how bad it is. I want to hear how real it is. I want to hear like, and obviously it does translate through the vinyl, but you know, you kind of feel like it's a bit strange. I always feel like that about like downloading stuff as well, because I want to feel it. If it was meant to be on vinyl, then I want to hear it on vinyl. If it was meant to be on tape, then I want to have that. And maybe that's just a little bit of an obsessive thing, but I think there's some records that I've only ever heard on record, and maybe if I go and listen to them on CD, they'll just be like, I don't know, like production wise, maybe just you'll hear different things.
about like Daniel Johnston. Well, tape is how he recorded it, and that's how he intended to have it like recorded and played on. Because there's that famous like footage where he goes like, "Hi, I'm Daniel Johnston." He has like his own tape of like, "Hi, how are you?"
Yeah. That was on MTV as well. He just came in the background and just like walked up to the camera.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character.
But yeah, I guess it is strange. Like, how do you feel about that? Like listening to a record that was meant to be digital but is then on a record. Is that strange for you? Is that like, for example, the Cattle Decapitation record obviously is an insanely digital recording, and then obviously if you've got the right equipment, it's going to sound digital as well on vinyl. But you've also got the surface noise, which is always going to be there no matter what. You know, like you're always going to have that, and especially if you're going to have it on like a splatter vinyl or a picture disc or something like that.
Yeah, I think with something like that, I would definitely prefer to have it on CD than vinyl. I don't think I would even consider buying it on vinyl. I guess maybe this says something a lot about like my attitude to vinyl recordings.
I've got another couple of questions for you before we wrap up the video. The Deafheavens record, for example, like I really loved the demo, and I really loved Roads to Judah. Obviously, parts of it were just perfect, and parts I wasn't so into. But then like Sunbather I wasn't really into too much. Like I liked the black metal-y parts, but not so much the post-rock side. And the new thing, like I was talking to you on Twitter about it, I don't know. I'm really not sure. I like the heavy parts. I really like them. I really, really like them. And I think it's really good. And like the vocals are so improved and so good, but the other bits just confuse me. Like, I don't know what to think about it. Like,
I posted Brought to the Water.
Yeah,
the first track. I like that track. And I saw like the Five Reasons, even though it sounds like an insult, but the clean bits towards the end.
I saw your post. So I was laughing so hard.
It sounds like honestly, the first time I heard it, I thought, I'm not hearing this, but it sounds like Sixpence None the Richer's Kiss Me. It's identical, it really is. But I don't mind it. I sort of like that. And then like some of the vocals earlier in the song remind me of like Terra Tenebrosa sometimes, and I just thought a track that can make me think of Our Moment, Terra Tenebrosa, and then Sixpence None the Richer is mad.
That's bizarre, isn't it? That's a strange mix.
Yeah. I was just like, maybe I should stop listening to music.
You spoke about this in your black metal video. You said it's more about like having a proper feeling, and if you like it, it's not a bad thing. I'm going to try and get Mike on here to definitely talk about it. We're calling him out. We're calling him out from the dungeon, from the Mike dungeon, and we're going to get him on here to talk about his ideas behind some of these things that we've been talking about. I think that'd be really interesting.
Yeah, ask him about why he hates God Hates Us All by Slayer.
Okay. That's going to be the title of the next video.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks, mate. I'll see you soon.
All right, then. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Like a full band sound. It's more like a punkier edge to neo-folk, but this is one of their newer records that came out this year, 2015, and I really love this. I love all of their other records as well, but this one was in particular had a little bit more of an edge to it, a little bit more noise, loads and loads of samples, and like really just